Today we break down everything that happened this past week in the NFL, including a historic offensive performance by the Miami Dolphins. All that and much more on this week's episode of the Beerly Football Podcast. Hello and welcome back to the Beerly Football Podcast. It's about football and Beerly. I'm your host, Zachary Smith. Joining me as always are my two very good friends, one of which has a bit of a QB controversy going on in his football team, Kerry. How are the Patriots doing?
We beat the Jets. Yay. We beat Zach Wilson. We still own the Jets.
That is true. That is true.
Should that even count as a win, beating Zach Wilson? Like,
it was close too, man. It was really close.
That part. I don't know. Win's a win, I guess.
Really a quarterback controversy there?
There should be.
Will Greer, baby. Hey, it's Zappy time, always.
I heard that Will Greer has all the secrets for
Dallas.
Who do they play this week?
Dallas.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only reason they signed him. Because they knew Will Greer had been there. Classic Bill trying to steal.
Yeah, trying to steal signals, watching practices.
He would never
He's
do
like,
that.
I'm not allowed to actually go to the practices and videotape them anymore. I'm just gonna pick up a guy that was on their team for several weeks.
Just gonna find somebody from the practice squad every week.
I feel like if you think about it, it's kind of risky for NFL teams to cut players during the season because you realize they know your playbook and then the team could immediately sign them. That's
quarterbacks.
Yeah,
especially quarterbacks.
So I guess it doesn't happen that often, but still,
Yeah. No. Yeah, 100%. And then the other man on the podcast is a man who is way too overly confident in himself, and that is Mr. Trevor Scott. How are we doing tonight?
First of all, there's no such thing as overconfidence.
There is. You're the embodiment of it, actually.
Did the Bucs win by 40, Trevor?
Nope. Not even close, brother. But I'm here to drink my sorrows away and talk some ball. So.
But before we get into the ball, beer, drinks. What are we drinking tonight?
Trevor actually drinking beer for the first time in months?
Yeah, man. Actually, tonight I'm just having water. So I'm just kidding. But I think from that variety pack that I've been drinking and all the Golden Road brewing that I've been having, I never had the OG, I don't think, which is just the regular mango cart. Mm-hmm. My roommate said it's good. I don't really like mangoes like that. I like dried mangoes, and this is wet mangoes, so it's the opposite. So.
Alrighty.
Interesting.
What are you drinking, Kerry?
Can you guys guess what I'm drinking? I'm drinking a beer I like, but it's
Bud Light.
It is the worst packaging of any beer in the history of the world. Bud Light.
The worst what?
The worst packaging in the history of any beer.
Bud Light.
No.
Ultra.
Zach no.
Coors.
The wrapping.
I don't know.
Modelo. I hate this stupid.
What?
It's so annoying.
That's wild. That's so crazy.
I love Modelo. But I will rarely get Modelo because it's so annoying with this stupid gold foil.
That's amazing. That's the best part of Modelo.
You hate
tasting the foil?
Kerry?
You leave one in there?
Yeah,
I'd rather not have foil in my beer.
I bet he does hate puppies.
And rainbows and smiles and laughing children. I bet he hates them all.
I bet he wants death to all those things.
Modelo might be a top 3 beer for me if the stupid foil wasn't here.
That's honestly such a crazy thing to say.
It's a great thing to say.
The views of Kerry Dempsey do not necessarily reflect that of the Beerly Podcast Network.
That's just another.
That should be well known at this point, but just to reiterate,
that's a very take for Kerry, on par take.
Yeah.
Not great takes.
Terrible
for this season, bro. Modelo's are decent. And honestly,
wait and see. The losing streak's over, baby.
I gotta give some flowers right now. Zach, you were the person who originally put me on Modelo's, so
I think me too. Yeah.
Props to Zach. They're
good,
great,
man.
great.
They're really, really good.
Zach was always the Modelo guy.
Used to have them in the fridge at FGCU, and
Do
they
you
were so
remember
cute.
the
Those little
weekend I
bottles.
turned 21? How much beer we had in the fridge?
Yeah, man.
We
They're actually
spent like $100 just on beer.
it's a
Just got
normal
like
time.
everything and tried it all.
They're
So
on sale at Target.
Tonight, to celebrate, this is the first podcast technically of the fall. So to celebrate,
Is it fall?
yeah, first day of fall was this past week.
There's no fall in Florida, bud.
Anyway, I'm having a handcrafted Atlanta hard cider company crisp apple.
That's good.
That looks beautiful.
So I'm having that tonight. But to give you guys a sneak peek about what I'm having next week, because next week will be the first podcast of October.
There we go.
So
Great
just a
time
sneak
of the
peek
year.
of what I'm going to be having next week. I'm really excited about that. Let me tell you guys.
I love Oktoberfest.
Now that we've talked about our drinks, talked about what we're drinking tonight, let's get into some college football before we go on to the pro game. Obviously, probably the biggest story in college football this week was Colorado and Deion Sanders getting absolutely power bombed on national television by the Oregon Ducks. Trevor, you're shaking your head there. It sounds like you have something you want to say.
I told Kerry every day. Kerry likes betting. Kerry loves betting. I told Kerry every day for like 5 days straight, take Shedeur Sanders under. This brother thought he was going to get 336 yards. But yeah, man.
It was discounted at 300. Still took it. Still not.
Oh, man. I just you could have saw that coming from a mile away. Without Travis Hunter, they didn't stand a chance. If Travis Hunter would have been there and been healthy, they probably
They would have scored
scored
seven more points?
I mean, he would at least been more competitive. He's one of the best players in the country. But
he would not have made a difference in that game.
yes, he would. What are you talking about?
That's why.
He's a wide receiver one and their corner one.
They were going to blow him out regardless if he's playing.
They were going to beat him regardless, but Travis Hunter would have made a difference.
That
It's just college football. He's a great player.
There's 5 Travis Hunters on that team. They still would have lost by double digits.
No way.
No, I disagree. That's a wild take.
Travis Hunter is hard, dude, and he's a sophomore, I think.
They went from a good underdog story to just the media making them the most annoying team in football. I feel like everybody rooted for Colorado, but then the media has decided, we're going to make them the greatest team, and we're going to talk about them 24/7. Just like what the media is doing with a certain singer and a certain tight end right now everywhere. I hate the media.
What were we just talking about?
Colorado.
Oh, yeah, the media. Did you see Skip Bayless? What he tweeted? He was like, is Colorado Black America's team or something? Is Deion Sanders Black America's team?
That old man needs to go somewhere.
The views must be low. Barely Football has taken all of his views. So he's got to tweet some nut shit. Keep it up, though. It's entertaining.
Do you think USC is going to blow them out this week, too?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Probably. Travis Hunter's not back for another week and a half, right?
It sounded like he wanted to play, but Deion said no, focus on getting
Deion's keeping him out 3 weeks, and that's the smart thing to do, to be honest.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Because then you also have another excuse when you lose these next 3 games. Oh, we didn't have our best player. But also, one thing I wanted to bring up, which is not getting very much attention, they're going to play USC, and for the past week and a half, we've heard a lot about that story where Deion said Shadeur's not going to the draft this year because he's not a number 2, he's a number 1. And Caleb Williams is probably – so he obviously thinks that he's on par with Caleb Williams or not very far behind. But if we see out of Colorado what we saw out of Colorado last Saturday, yeah, pack it up, College Station. You know, Colorado's cool. You can smoke weed there. They got mountains. I'm sure the girls are pretty. But let's lock back into real college football. Colorado's cool, though. They'll win 7, 8, maybe 9 games. But they got a cool little team. But yeah, we had to pump the brakes. It was fun while it lasted. Deion Sanders, cool though. So it's a fun story. It's fun to keep up with.
I don't think Sanders is a top 3 quarterback in the draft this year. Maybe next year.
I think it's tough to determine. I mean, when you watch him those first 3 weeks, I mean, he's making all the right decisions. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a lot of hang-ups when you don't have you don't necessarily have the talent or the guys at certain key positions on the football field. Like, obviously, offensive line and defensive line are two things that they just don't have right now. So it's tough to make a quarterback look great if you don't have a great offensive line. It's tough.
I think definitely, though, if he stays another year, he could be a very high pick next year in 2025.
I agree. Because, I mean, everything I've seen from him this year, outside of the Oregon game, I mean, he's making good reads. He's able to extend plays with his feet. He's got a good arm. He's got a great arm. And he doesn't like to force passes. He makes smart decisions. And the one thing I love about it is when he gets out of the pocket, you see a lot of these athletic quarterbacks, and the problem is when they get out of the pocket, their immediate instinct is to run the ball. And his first instinct is, I'm going to throw the ball before I have to run. Mm-hmm. Which is what you want to see out of a guy that can extend the play like he can.
Yeah, he really does have a good arm. He's got good size. He's 6'2", 215, and he's only 21 years old. I mean, I like it. And even the Oregon game, like, he didn't throw for a lot of yards. He wasn't super effective. He never got any momentum. I'm pretty sure that he threw for 70% still completions. I mean, like, his arm is just fine. Like, there's no concern.
That was probably that was a lot of garbage time.
Still, yeah, they didn't get anything rolling, so he wasn't going to stack anything. But he's a quarterback. They got whacked, so he still threw 70%. I mean, take a win there. I like him as a quarterback, just not this year.
Do you know who's my favorite quarterback now?
Sam Hartman.
Who had never watched before. I never watched Washington before. Michael Penix.
Michael Penix.
He's the best deep ball I've seen. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. He's been amazing this year. And if I'm on the Patriots, I would shoot Mac Jones on the site to get him. But that also the big game of your two hated teams. Pretty boring game. What'd you think of the Ohio State Notre Dame game?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, I wouldn't even really call it a boring game. It's just good defenses.
It wasn't exciting to the last quarter.
It wasn't. I mean, depends on what you find exciting.
Not that.
Kerry doesn't like defense. Kerry wants every game to look like the Miami Dolphins playing the Miami Dolphins 73-70. He wants it to look like basketball scores. That's what he wants.
If he's the best receiver in college football, you should probably get him a few more targets.
Honestly. Did he get diagnosed?
He came back and finished the game after the injury. So
he's not out the whole year.
No.
I didn't get to watch that game, but I heard about that. So.
Well, I mean, yeah. So that's been an issue with the play calling for Ohio State all year is that they haven't been getting the ball to him. Like, that's been a constant thing. It's like, well, you have this guy who's gonna be a pretty high draft pick, and you're just not giving him the ball, which is kind of wild. So
I heard a NFL scout say that his floor is T. Higgins and his ceiling is Calvin Johnson. So pretty high praise there.
Zach, do you think Notre Dame will bounce back this week against Duke? Duke, the highest I think they've ever been ranked.
Whoa!
No way, that's not true.
They're pretty high up.
What are they at?
Like 15.
They're not at 15, are they?
Before.
Yeah, they are.
Bro,
what?
They had, what was his name? Who's that quarterback they had? And they were good.
Right.
Like 5 years ago.
Daniel
maybe.
Jones?
Was it Daniel Jones?
He was their quarterback like 5 years ago.
I'm thinking of
Riley Leonard is the new Daniel Jones.
Oh, Syracuse. Yeah, I'm thinking of Daniel Jones. They were good when Daniel Jones was there. They might have been in the top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they're like 15 or 16
They're
right
17.
now. 17?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, yeah, it came out. Where's Florida?
It's called College Game Days. College Game Days at Duke for the first time ever this week.
That's cool.
Interesting. I don't know how they jumped Miami because we have a top 25 win. But
I think they've been ahead of Miami.
What is Florida at? Like
22?
They're
22.
Are they at 22?
Well, a lot of people lost right ahead of them. So I'd imagine.
I don't say both of you will like this. The biggest fraud in college football is Florida State.
I agree.
They barely beat BC 2 weeks ago. They barely beat Clemson in overtime.
And they should have lost. If Clemson had a kicker, they would have lost.
They're not that good. Jordan Travis is not – he's been hurt, but, he does not impress me. They look great against LSU, but besides that, they have not looked great this year.
I agree.
I honestly think LSU is better at this point in the season.
Yeah.
LSU
but this is how Florida State looks, which, this is not – obviously, this is not as good of a team as the Jameis Winston, Jimbo Fisher national championship team. But that year was so annoying because they'd be, tied or be losing at halftime.
It was the next year that happened. It was the year they got eliminated by Ohio State in the playoff. Right.
But, their undefeated year, they were, waxing teams. But it was the year after that, yeah. And they had that bitch-ass tight end, Nick O'Leary. And, they would, lose or be tied at halftime every game, and then they would just come out and go 20-0 in the third quarter, and the game was over by the fourth. It was the most annoying thing
Jacoby Brissett for Boston College took them to the brink one year. And overtime. And ended up losing in overtime.
Whatever happened to DeAndre Francois? Do you know?
Who?
I remember that guy.
Yeah. I don't even know why I care about that. Yeah. I don't think... I mean, Florida State, it does say something about you, though, when you can play bad and, not have your best game and still find a way to win. But that's not something you can do every week.
No.
If they're really...
We saw that with the Vikings last year, and it doesn't always correlate after that.
Yeah, so, it'll be interesting watching them going forward. I don't know who they play this week, but they've got to improve. Let's see who they play this week, actually.
They have a bye this week.
They have a bye this week?
Let's do this. One college pick game week for us. LSU at Ole Miss. 20 Ole Miss.
Are we doing scores?
Just who's going to win?
LSU by 50.
Now I want to take Ole Miss.
You think LSU? Jackson Dart is not that good.
Bro, I hate LSU, but I actually really like the team they got this year, just as a football fan.
I'm going to go Ole Miss. Not Ole Miss. I'm going to go LSU. I think they're just slightly a better team. I think Ole Miss is playing well right now, but I think that they have the worst head coach in college football. Great recruiter.
You don't like Kiff?
I hate Kiff.
Whoa.
Bro, he couldn't succeed at USC.
That's fair.
It's not like you have an issue recruiting people at USC.
No. Every 5-star quarterback probably wants to go there.
Yeah.
Every pocket passing 5-star quarterback wanted to go there.
Yeah. So, anyway. Now we're on to NFL football. We're going to go... Do you guys want to go directly into the 5 points?
We got Pick'em, Zach. Pick'em.
Oh, yeah, Pick'em. How did we do last week?
Not great.
Zach is back, baby.
Zach is gaining traction. Zach is back in the picture.
Back in the picture.
Back in the
2
picture.
for 3.
After a rough start.
After a rough start. Yeah. I tied my... I doubled my wins this past week.
In 1 week.
That's pretty good. Trevor, did we have any TikTok winners?
I actually got TikTok this week, so no, we don't. But I will make sure to post week 4s. Check us out on TikTok at Beerly Sports.
Where he might post.
He might.
Do you want me to post, Trevor?
I'm down. I can send you the picture.
More reliable.
Yeah, send me the login. I'll post for you.
I don't know how often you drink beer, but even if you're drinking beer, throw some shit up there. That's the best TikTok I had in a little while was just me drinking a beer on there. Not even talking about sports.
Yeah. All right, we had 0 winners on Instagram again for the second straight week.
Tough.
We had our highest week so far, but still not very high compared to what we get in the past.
I actually like it being hard. Trevor, keep that up.
Pause.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You heard me. I didn't stutter.
We had 22 winners this week.
Right.
Probably about 200 replies.
All right.
So we actually have a couple 2-time winners for the first time this season.
Okay.
So our 22 winners, and follow us on Twitter at Beerly Football. We post this every Friday. Get 3 right. We'll shout you out on the podcast. All right, our 22 winners at ELJ Bell 1. He's a 2-time winner.
Wow.
At Switz the Troll. He's Switz and a troll. At Chi-Town Zach, great name. Loves wrestling, FTC rep. At P Bailey 100, married with 3 kids.
That's not what he said.
No.
Oh.
At Mick McDaniel, he went to Yale. At Lizzie from the Lizzie from the Lit, diehard Panthers fan. Our favorite boy at postgrad Phil, Beerly Hockey League legend.
Whoa.
He actually said, "Give me whatever the opposite of Trevor says," and he went 3 for 3. At Caden Brandt,
no, because
Trevor went 0 for 3 on Twitter, but he won 1 for 3 on the show.
Yeah, I just bullshit on Twitter.
Gotcha.
At the_Shiva_champ, football fan and podcaster. At Can't Guard Smitty, he's the 19th best Eagles Twitter account.
Smitty.
At LRH388, Lyle, big sports guy. At Indy Colts fan 247, Chase Briscoe fan. At Zach Jonkman, aspiring sports writer. A lot of Zachs this week. At Seahawks got next, Herb defender. At Rams World _Cam, Rams fan. At Puffy Cheesehead from day one. At Hailster16, Rob Pepper, Cowboys fan. At Randy Rogers 7, U.S. Navy retired and UTSA fan. At Z Liebers, Zach, another Zach, Mets fan.
Great, man. I don't know what to tell you.
At Brian Case 1961, Broncos fan. At Distorted_S, he hunts pixels. And at Crazy's Cat Eye 2, 2-time winner. There we go. Congrats all of you. Again, play along with us on Fridays on Twitter at Purely Football.
Well, Zach, if you like it real hard, you're going to love this. We got 3 very good games for this week, week 4. And these will be put on Twitter, like Kerry said, at Purely Football. But the first game we got is the Bucs at the Saints. I'm taking the Saints. Anybody need to make up some ground?
What did you say? I wasn't listening.
Bucs
at
Saints.
Saints. I'm taking the Saints.
You guys know I hyped the Saints team up.
Yeah.
And then what happened? We got the dumbest idiot in the game to take over at quarterback. I will never pick this team again. I got the Bucs beating Dap. What's his name? What's his nickname?
Who?
Jameis. Dabo. Whatever.
What?
What's Jameis's nickname?
Does he? I didn't know. I wasn't aware he had a nickname.
He has a nickname.
Jabu.
Jabu, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
J-Bo or something. I don't know.
He sucks.
It's a hard nickname, though. It's not like a really common one, but I know what you're talking about. Jabu, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
Zach, who are you taking?
I'm gonna go with the Bucs.
Whoa.
I'm not a fan of this Saints team. I think Alvin Kamara will make a difference. It'll help that offense out a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough of a difference. I think the Bucs look okay so far this year. On both sides of the ball, not incredible, but okay. So I don't think the Saints offense is going to do all that much. I think that the Bucs offense has looked better than the Saints offense through the first 3 weeks of the season. So give me the Bucs.
All right, sounds good. So we got Kerry and Zach taking the Bucs, and I'm taking
Kamara's back in 4 though.
Yeah, I just said that.
I wasn't listening. So.
Right, so our second game. Oh my goodness! I'm gonna. We got the Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. Let's go, Zachy. Who are you taking? Dolphins at the Bills. I wish it was colder.
At the Bills.
Like McDaniel, you know he wants this one.
I'm gonna be honest. I think honestly the Dolphins are gonna win this division and they're gonna beat the Bills this Sunday.
They're gonna beat them this Sunday. Zach, spicy. Be honest, buddy. That's all you can be.
That's
Kerry,
all I can be.
Can you be honest with yourself yet? I know your ex is a Dolphins fan. She really did you dirty. But who are you taking in this game?
I'm still going Dolphins.
Going with the Dolphins. All right.
Dolphins. The Bills' defense has looked great this year. Offense still looking iffy, and you can't stop this Miami offense right now.
This is going to be a fun week for Pick'em because I'm actually taking the Bills to get it done at home. So
I think if there's a team that could pull it off, it's the Bills.
Yeah,
the Patriots' Bills defense is Patriots probably a little better, but it's similar. And Patriots defense did enough against Miami, but now that you add in the fact that you have Buffalo's offense, which is much better than the Patriots, I'd say if there's a team that can knock off Miami, it's going to be Buffalo.
Sounds good. And then just speaking of the Patriots, that's going to be our third game. They travel to Dallas to take on America's team and my team, the Dallas Cowboys. Our resident Patriots fan, Kerry, who are you taking in this game?
I would have taken the Patriots if the Cardinals didn't lose. Cardinals just got embarrassed by – not Cardinals. The Cowboys just got embarrassed Cowboys just got embarrassed by the Cardinals. They're going to bounce back. Yes, Trayvon Diggs is out. This Patriots offense sucks. Their O-line is terrible. And Micah Parsons company is going to eat them alive. Cowboys by double digits. Patriots 1-3.
Kerry, everything you said, copy and paste. I'm taking the Cowboys too.
Yeah, I would love to pick the Patriots just because I like the upset.
Yeah. Hey, here's one thing, Zach. Tell me one big game Mac Jones has ever won. One.
National championship, brother.
Give me the boys, Cowboys.
Oh, man. All right. Since you guys didn't believe me, I actually wrote them down this time. So I guess I'm taking all three homes now. So we got the Bucks and the Saints, the Finns and the Bills, and the Patriots and the Cowboys. We'll get that up on Twitter and TikTok ASAP. This is a good week. It's going to be a good week of football.
Yeah, it should be fun.
There was some news that kind of went around Twitter. I thought Kerry was still in the bathroom. I completely lost it, found it again. Zach, I know this player was a big part of your childhood. I don't even think you were a fan, but you know who he is. James Harrison came out and he said that he doesn't think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. At 85 sacks, 34 forced fumbles, 811 all-time tackles, 128 tackles for loss, 2 of those Super Bowls, a lot of Pro Bowls, a lot of All-Pros, and a Defensive Player of the Year. Would you put him in the Hall of Fame? You think he's being a little too humble? Like, what's going on?
I honestly, I don't like James Harrison as a player. I thought he was a very dirty player. But in terms of like the accolades and the big plays that he's made throughout his career, I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
What do you think, Kerry?
I don't really care, honestly.
Dude, James Harrison, he affected you.
I don't care if a random defensive player gets in the Hall of Fame. I don't really care about the Hall of Fame in the NFL. Like, I know I post about it on Twitter a lot because people reply, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me.
Did you guys see Colin Kaepernick's risk-free contingency plan that he offered the New York Jets?
I did.
Said, put me on the practice squad. I'll get your defense ready. If you like what you see,
Zach made a comment a couple weeks ago about Colin Kaepernick. Zach, can you just repeat it again?
I don't remember what it was.
The fact that we shouldn't still be talking about this 7 years later. Come on.
He put
my opinion on Colin Kaepernick is he doesn't actually want to play football.
Did you read the letter? You should read it.
Why is J. Cole posting it for him?
This is America, dude. Like, it is.
No, did you guys see the Tyreek Hill comment today?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he wants to be a porn star after he retires from the NFL.
Was he going to beat women on video or something?
Listen, man, everybody makes mistakes.
Some make more than
Some are bigger than others, though, yeah.
But yeah,
imagine you go like a serial killer and he's just like, hey, everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect, guys.
My bad.
Wait, I'm not allowed to do that? Damn it.
I didn't mean to cut off her head, guys. That was my
Didn't know you guys weren't very big on forgiveness. I thought that was a virtue.
I'm big on forgiveness, but it doesn't mean it's not for. I don't believe in forgive.
No, I mean
and
for
forget.
serial killers.
Huh?
For serial killers.
It's not my job to forgive them.
I'm just kidding. I was kidding. I was speaking as the serial killer, which is the first time I've ever done that in my life.
Spoken as a serial
killer. This
killer?
bingo card is pretty good. I don't understand why the English language has... Actually, never mind. Let's stop.
How much did you smoke before this episode, Trevor?
We're about to have... Huh?
How much did you smoke before this episode?
Dude, I don't do that. I don't do that. This mango card is hitting, though. This mango card is hitting.
I'm sure it's that.
Yeah.
It is.
100%. Totally.
It is.
All
We
right.
heading to points?
Let's go into points.
Did I go first?
I want to go first.
Darn.
Okay. My point
You guys should
number
rock,
one.
paper, scissors.
No.
Oh, no, you finished better and picked them.
My point number one. I'm gonna stand up on a soapbox a little bit here. I'm gonna talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's actually not a soapbox.
Let's have a discussion.
It's a judge's seat. Okay.
Okay.
This Jacksonville Jaguars team is playing like a college football team in the NFL. Dropping passes, leaving guys wide open, fumbling the ball, having the least interesting scheming on offense and defense that I've ever seen in the NFL. We look worse than the Arizona Cardinals.
Dude.
And it's not for lack of talent. Got great receivers. Got a good receiving tight end. Brent Strange's a good blocking tight end. Offensive line, somehow, without really changing that much at the position, I think we lost one tackle and replaced him in the draft. Without moving around that many pieces, our offensive line has gone from pretty good last year to awful. The game that we were promised that we were going to see out of the combination of ETN and Tank Bigsby is almost non-existent. You're not using Tank Bigsby as that pound it guy between the tackles. You're using ETN way too much to run the ball on first down. The route tree looks offensively bad. It seems like we only know how to run drag routes, streaks, and hitches. That's the only routes in our route tree right now, and it's awful. It's awful. Another thing, with a wide receiver core that I believe is pretty deep, why in the hell is Jamal Agnew out there running routes and catching passes? He's great. He's a great return guy. Love him on the team because of the ability he gives us to, work the field and field position through special teams. But he should not be catching passes. In the last 4 games, he's fumbled the ball 3 times in crucial moments. You just can't have that. Just can't happen. That just can't happen. I don't care if you got to pick up somebody off free agency and move someone else off the roster. I don't want to see him in a 4 wide. I don't. You have Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram. You have those guys. There's no need for Jamal Agnew to be on the field catching passes. And if you need another guy out there catching passes, oh my gosh, you have Travis Etienne. It's not that hard to move him into a slot position. He's a good pass catcher.
You guys have a rookie tight end, too?
Yeah, Brenton Strange, who's a pretty good blocker.
Yeah.
But this offense looks terrible. Our defense got torched. We have no pass rush. I want to go back and say again, I was right about the draft. We should have taken Hutch. Trayvon Walker is not a threat in the pass rush game. He's a decent run defender because of how strong and athletic he is, but he has zero refinement on his pass rush abilities. And it is frustrating that we had the number 1 overall pick 2 years ago. We got Trevor Lawrence. I feel like that, even though he's had a slow start to the year, that's still a hit for me. Trayvon Walker is turning into a bust. People are talking about, is Jadeveon Clowney a bust, or is he good, or is he decent? Jadeveon Clowney is a better pass rusher, and he was since the moment he stepped into the league, than Trayvon Walker.
Damn.
So if you think Jadeveon Clowney's a bust, let me tell you about this guy named Trayvon Walker down in Jacksonville, because it looks like the same shit we saw last year. He can create, the only thing he knows how to do is bull rush. He can't make moves. He can't make a defender miss. He's not quick enough. And it's the most frustrating thing to watch. So, for point number 1, this Jacksonville team will go nowhere unless a lot of changes happen in the play call and the scheming, because it's the worst I've seen. And I've been a fan of Jacksonville for a long time. It's almost as bad as when Urban Meyer was coaching there. Especially on the offensive side of the ball.
I think week 1, y'all looked there was like a middle of the game where the offense kind of looked stale, couldn't really move, whatever. But the Jags looked better than a lot of other teams looked week 1. They put up 31 points. They buffered a little bit in the middle of the game, but they were solid. Week 2, it kind of looked like they went out there without a plan. Like they thought maybe the defense would dominate and the offense would just be able to do enough. And the offense looked like they didn't have a plan. And then week 3, kind of the same thing. Like they had some. The defense looked bad too, right? The corners. Number 31.
We couldn't stop the run.
Yeah.
We couldn't stop the run. So then they start working play action off of that, and we have guys running free in the secondary like Tank Dell, who's a pretty good wide receiver, but he shouldn't be running free in the Jacksonville secondary. It's unacceptable.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think needs to turn it around for the offense?
For the offense, it's honestly pretty fucking simple. You drafted Tank Bigsby to be your in-between-the-tackles back. If you're going to run between the tackles, you put Tank Bigsby in. You got ETN to be that change of pace back, the guy that can make those big plays, and he's made a couple this year, but you have to use him like that. You don't run a halfback dive with Travis Etienne. What's the purpose of that? He's not big enough to push the pile. He's just not. He's a great player, but he's not big enough to push the pile. And then the route tree just has to be more. It has to be more complex. Because I tell you what, right now when I watched that Houston game, they were sitting on those hitch routes. They're just sitting on them because they weren't pressing the ball down the field. If you look at the completed passes and the pass attempts, it's all this way. When you look at the passes that Trevor Lawrence threw, it's all horizontal. There's nothing vertical. You have to scare this team. You have to scare teams and be willing to throw the ball down the field. And the one big play we had, the one touchdown we had was to Evan Ingram, which was 30 yards down the field. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be better. It's got to be better. You got to do something, work the ball down the field. It's not like you don't have the talent to do that. It's just about execution and dialing up plays to make your quarterback that you want to be the future of this franchise. You have to give him the ability to look good. You can't just call these wide receiver screens, halfback screens, tight end screens. Okay? This team is better than a screen game. And that seems to be what we're doing. A lot of flats, a lot of hitches, a lot of short, quick passes that don't really do anything.
And it doesn't seem like in the past 2 weeks from Jacksonville on offense, there's been anything that like always works. Like they can at least have like go-to offense. Like, all right, fuck it, let's just chip away all the way down the field. And like, we have the run game, we have the play action. We know like that'll work.
Yeah. And
it just seems like they're kind of guessing, and sometimes stuff hits and they throw deep. And Lawrence has got a good arm. He hits deep. It seems like they kind of been big play reliant and kind of defensively reliant. And when the defense has a bad game like they just did, it didn't look good.
And the only difference I can see from last year is that Doug Peterson gave over play calling abilities to the OC.
Mm-hmm.
And the offense looks worse. Just flat out, play calling looks worse. Decision making looks worse. We're in a game. We're what? It's 3-6 in the Chiefs game, and we're running like a double reverse pass. What is this? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's the second quarter. Pardon my French. Run a fucking offense.
Facts. Have a system. Have some water. Have a flowing offense.
Anyway, that's my point number one. I wanted to get that off my chest right away. For all the Jags fans out there, because this past week was embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
AFC South title still belong to the Jags, or we don't know right now.
I still do believe we'll win it. Because my hope is that we turn it around. But I mean, if we keep playing like this, no, we're gonna lose the title. And it's probably gonna be, honestly, to the Colts.
Whew. They're scrappy, dude.
They don't have better players than us. But they have a much better scheme than us.
They do. Their running game works. And you know they were going to run the ball.
Yep.
And it works. Yeah.
They also had 12 Ravens starters out.
I mean,
So
hey,
that
what
might
can
help.
you do? You go out there and you play the team, you know? And it was not 12, brother. How can you have 12 starters? There's 11 people on the field.
Offense and defense, bud.
Okay.
It wasn't. I don't think it's 12, but it was like 10 or something.
Fair enough. That kind of, since we're talking about the Colts, it goes into my point number one. But if you want to go, Kerry, have a big sip of that drink and then.
It froze on me. I'm back, though.
Too. I got fucked too. I got chewed up and spit out.
Alrighty.
What was the last thing you heard?
If you want to go ahead, Kerry, take a big sip of that drink.
Oh, yeah. A big sip of that drink and let us know what your point number one is.
All right. My point number one. I've got a lot of slander in the past 2 weeks. Being wrong with some takes.
Some?
How about
Some?
Zach Stradon?
You're breaking up real bad. Hold on.
We got to restart that from the top.
Damn it.
It's okay. Nobody heard anything.
What'd you say, Kerry?
Where'd it end?
I've gotten some hate over the past. That's what I heard. That
I've
was
got some
probably
hate.
actually what you said, but you could go again.
I've got some hate the past 2 weeks for being wrong with some takes. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Some other people in this podcast are wrong. How about Zach Stradamus? More like Zach Stradumbass. Zach had a rough week this week. Should I go through them all? Yes, I will. Zach, you can respond after I go through them all.
Okay.
Fair enough. First of all, I had to listen to Zach all last episode about how Patrick Surtain was going to shut down Tyreek Hill.
Whoa. First off, pause.
Broncos defense.
Pause. That is
Go back and listen, Zach.
absolutely not what I said.
Exactly what
I
he
said
said.
he was the best cover corner in the league, which I
He was
still
gonna
believe
shut
is
down
true.
Tyreek Hill, who got
I
absolutely
literally never
destroyed.
said that.
A top 10 player in the NFL. Tyreek Hill made him look like a little baby trying to eat a candy.
Hey,
After
Kerry, I have a question. What defense were the Broncos running against the Dolphins?
It was like probably they put 11 little children out there, asked them, go guard the big bad man, and couldn't do that.
So what they were doing, because Kerry didn't watch the
They
fucking
listened
game,
already.
obviously, what they were doing is running a zone, which plays
What he was
into
doing was
Miami's
getting cooked
hand.
alive.
It plays
On
into Miami's
five-
hand, which also means, Kerry, you didn't watch the fucking game, and you know that Pat Surtain wasn't guarding Tyreek Hill the whole game.
Go watch the film.
Kerry, I did watch
I
the
thought
film.
they were
That's how I know they were in a
Jaguars game,
zone.
Oh, Zach.
Okay,
Oh, Zach.
next one. Because you're wrong on point number one. One, I never said that. And two, Pat Surtain.
Yes, you did.
No, I
Pat
didn't.
Surtain, he had 5 throws in him, 99 yards and a touchdown. And a top 10 player in the NFL, according to you. He really did great, bud.
Okay.
On to the next one.
Okay.
Remember I made a little deal last week about you putting Sam Howell in the top 15, saying that was a little early? Sam Howell really proved himself with his 4-interception game. Great quarterback.
Yeah, he had a bad game.
On to the next one.
I guess Joe Burrow's bottom 10, right? Joe Burrow's bottom
big
10.
bad Jaguars. The Jaguars were a mediocre team last season, got lucky, beat some bad quarterbacks, snuck into the playoffs, got lucky again in the playoffs, won a game. They were never a good team. They're showing what they were last year. They were a mediocre team. They're never that good. They're never going to be a contender in the AFC. I don't know what you've been smoking, Zach. On to the next one.
Wait,
Atlanta
okay,
Falcons.
pause.
been
This
all
is just
the
outright
Falcons.
slander.
All the Falcons
You're just
are the
going to
best
lie
team
about me. I'm
ever.
not going to let you talk. That's just bullshit.
The Falcons are the best team ever, according to Zach.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
yeah, they're
What are
dominant.
you? Carrie, shut the. Carrie, I'm muting you. You don't deserve to talk right now. I'm actually muting you. Okay, Carrie's muted so that he can't spread any more lies about me. First off, last week I said the Jaguars looked bad on offense. I said this. It's not like this is some big thing that Kerry figured out. I said the Jags didn't look good on offense. Their offensive play calling looked terrible. The defense at least looked good against KC. But that's the only positive thing we could take from that game. Okay? Next, I didn't say Desmond Ridder was the greatest quarterback of all time. I said he looked okay through 2 weeks. Said he looked okay through 2 weeks. That's all I said. You're muted, Kerry. No one can hear what you're saying. I actually did mute you because you're just flat out lying about what I've said. And I won't stand for it. Okay? And thirdly, Sam Howell played bad. Okay. Does that mean we put Joe Burrow in the bottom 10? Because he hasn't had a good game yet this year. And he didn't play well this past weekend. Okay, Kerry, you're unmuted now. I'm going to unmute you now. Now that I've corrected the record and you stopped fucking lying about me, you can talk.
Zach is the weakest person ever to mute me. Bro's been hyping up the Falcons, Desmond Ridder, the Jaguars, all this crap all off season long, and then when it comes out, his little teams get destroyed. Desmond Ridder might be beyond Zach Wilson and Justin Fields. Desmond Ridder is probably the third worst quarterback in the NFL.
Okay,
Zach seems to think.
Okay.
He's the future. This Falcon team's going places. They're going to win the division. No, this team sucks.
I still think they'll win.
Also, I don't know who it was, Zach or Trevor. He slandered me for hyping up Adam Thielen this offseason for an honorable mention. You guys were like, Adam Thielen sucks. Yeah, who's the number, I think, 6 fantasy wide receiver right now? Adam Thielen. Fuck both of you.
Okay, man. Dude. I'll take that. If I shit on, I'll shit on Adam Thielen right now. Like,
I will too, by the way. I will too.
Oh, enough of. I'm tired of hearing the Brock Slurry slander, Zach. Did I say Purdy, Slurdy? Whatever his name is.
Slurdy slander. I'm sick of it.
He's never lost a game in the NFL.
Brock Purdy sucks. There, I said it. Mac
Brock
Jones
Purdy's
will look
a
better.
top 10 quarterback.
Mac Jones will look better. Mac Jones will look better in San Fran. I said it.
Mac Jones is an awful quarterback. Mac Jones doesn't even belong to be in the NFL.
Who's the best receiver
he
on the
needs to
Patriots?
go back to the XFL and go play.
Who's the best receiver on the Patriots?
Literally any quarterback can be better than Mac Jones on the Patriots.
Who's the best wide receiver? You don't even know because they don't have a wide receiver one.
All I hear is excuses for a guy can't.
I'm trying to defend the quarterbacks of your team. Okay? Kerry, wait. First off, wait, no. I'm going to mute you again, Kerry, if you don't shut up. I'm going to mute you again if you don't shut up. Wait, Trevor, I have a question. What is it that Kerry always says about Jalen Hurts and how anyone could play on that Eagles team and win? And he doesn't think the same thing about Brock fucking Purdy?
Yeah, Loki, I don't know how I never put that connection together and Jalen Hurts. But yeah, man. What?
When did that anyone else could not succeed in that same offense? I said a couple weeks ago, Tua would put up insane numbers on that team.
Yeah, but Tua is the top 5 quarterback in the league.
It's so good to hear you say that, dude.
He's never said that. Now he's
literally
did
last week, Kerry. Thank you. I know you don't pay attention when we talk, but I literally put him in my top 4 last week. And actually, this week he's in my top 3.
At least Trevor's like consistent with horrible takes.
I'm always consistent.
Horrible.
I'm always Kerry. Literally, you have the worst record on this show this year. Stop talking about how other people have horrible takes. Yes, you.
Wait,
yes,
what?
you. Yes, you, Kerry. Yes,
week?
you.
How'd you do week 3, bud?
I did pretty good.
That's it for me. That's God.
Finally. Kerry's finally moved down my ranking. Trevor is now the second most reasonable person on this podcast. All right, Trevor.
I feel like I've been going great this year. I feel like all the stars have aligned for me this year.
Trevor, what's your point number 1?
It has to do with Justin Herbert, so let's do it. Not really. It just has to do. Well, kind of indirectly. I don't know what they do with Austin Eckler, but I feel like this drowning Los Angeles Chargers team, because I do think they're drowning still, even though they scratched out this W.
There's no D in that word.
Yeah.
It's drowning, not drowning.
Drowning?
Drowning. No D.
Drowning.
You don't even know, and you're going to be a lawyer.
Rounding?
Stop.
Drown.
He said no D, though, so it's rounding.
No second D. There's no second D.
Drowning.
You saying this?
Yes.
All right.
You want to take that back already?
Sure. This drowning Chargers team. Wait.
This show
I'm
is
just
a
gonna use
mess.
a different word.
I hate
Hang on.
this podcast. I quit.
I'm just gonna use a different word. This drowning. Fuck it. This drowning
Struggling.
Chargers team. And I
It's
do
like
mean
Kerry
drowning,
was
they're
sixth.
still drowning. I think what they need to do, and I don't know how they'd make it work with Austin Eckler, but I really think they need to trade for Jonathan Taylor. I think that element. There's no rushing attack at all. What, Gary? What?
What?
It is not. This Chargers team is talented. They're a good team, and this is not a hard team to beat.
Trevor, there's a reason why it's not hard to beat this team. I think Zach could, and most people in America could figure out why it's pretty easy to beat this Chargers team.
Let me say something before you say what that reason is. The defense won in the game this week. Did you watch the game?
They had a lucky play at the end. This is the worst defense in the NFL.
But they won the game this week.
Their highest paid quarterback's a healthy scratch.
But they won the game this week. They had two interceptions, 2 fumbles, and I think 2 of them were in plus territory. And one was at the very end of the game.
Herbert had 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, and you're telling me the defense won the game?
Herbert played good.
34
very
points.
good. But yes, the reason that they won the game, because 24 points is not enough. I mean, 28 points. You telling me your quarterback threw for 400 yards and you had 28 points?
28 points is more than average.
One of them, I mean, just the offense is like, it's one-dimensional, and it's just all on Justin Herbert's shoulders. The entire, whether this team wins, whether this team succeeds or loses, it's on Justin Herbert because that is what the offense is. When Austin Eckler's there, he's going to get the passing yards, and Justin Herbert might throw for 400 yards, but it's not sustainable.
Joshua Kelly, 11 carries for 12 yards.
Did you watch the game? Did you see how they scored? One touchdown was a double pass. We got a Keenan Allen passing touchdown. They let Keenan Allen throw the ball further than they let Justin Herbert throw the ball, dude. What is wrong with that? They trust him more. And then, dude, what really pissed me off was that Herbert pick. That should have been a pick, and the guy knocked it up in the air, fell in freaking Josh Palmer's arms in the end zone. I don't trust the offense at all. Like, Herbert is putting up great numbers. He hasn't thrown a pick. He's throwing for 1,000,000 yards. But the offense is just, like, you know what you're getting. There's no threat of anything else. The world is on Justin Herbert's shoulders, and he had an insanely good game, and they should have lost. Still.
Okay, so the offense and Justin Herbert had an insanely good game, and they should have lost still. What does that tell you the weakness of this team
he had a good game.
Are you actually saying Justin Herbert's not the problem?
I'm saying I haven't really said he's the problem in the past.
Yeah,
you
definitely have.
One-dimensional offense.
When is Eckler back?
No rushing attack here. Get Jonathan Taylor.
All right.
Oh,
Trevor,
this team is
Trevor, when I switched you guys, you weren't that far ahead of Kerry. Now you just said that you'd never said that Justin Herbert is a problem with this offense. So, Kerry, you're back at number 2. But it is still neck and neck.
There's better guys you can get than Jonathan Taylor. They're going to have to get a lot of money, give up a lot to get Taylor when they should be focused on their defense. You can get it.
Their defense played fine.
Did you watch the game?
Yes, I did.
Look, they've given up more yards, more points than any team in the NFL through 3 weeks. Actually, okay. I don't know because the Broncos
defense
put like
good, but
50 years.
Okay, but the first 2 weeks the defense played bad and they lost the games. That makes sense. This week the defense played good and they won.
They didn't play good. Kirk Cousins had almost 400 yards again. Alexander Madison, who sucked all season, who I almost gave up on, had 5 yards of carry and almost 100 yards.
Okay, but what happened when Kurt got all the way down at the end of the field and Alexander Madison was in the red zone, fumble, interception. That is winning the game. Okay, Kirk Cousins had 400 yards. This isn't fucking Wall Street.
The Chargers, the Vikings fumble like 40 times a game. I think they might have set the record for most fumbles in a game. Like they've had like 10 in 3 weeks.
I think they fumbled.
They fumbled 5 times
against two, but they recovered it.
But 5 times against Philly.
Yeah,
and I think Cousins had 2 week 1. So they've
had
like
Justin Jefferson. Of course, he's going to throw for 350 yards. I'm just saying, like the offense when we just saw Justin Herbert have. You can't play better than that.
There's bigger needs than getting Jonathan Taylor.
That is a rushing threat, though. You can run Jonathan Taylor with power. You can run him up the middle, and the defense has to be ready for that all the time. The defense is not scared of Austin Eckler and fucking Josh Kelly running up the middle.
So in an NFL that doesn't pay running backs and doesn't need running backs, you're going to get 2 highly paid star running backs in the same team.
I said I don't know what they'd have to do with Eckler, but they need a rushing attack because this is supposed to be an elite team. This is supposed to be a competitive team on every level. They should be able to compete with every team in the AFC. And, like, it's been 3 weeks, and, like, we just saw them play their best game probably offensively and defense. Probably not offensively, but defensively, and they barely won. It doesn't look good for the Chargers if they're going to be this elite team.
Yeah,
I don't even know who they play, but they really –
their defense, bud.
You know what you get.
This defense can't stop the used squirrel at a laundromat. Like,
it's like
a used squirrel at a laundromat? What does that even mean,
bro?
Kerry? What are you using squirrels for?
I don't know, but still, jeez.
Like, what Justin Herbert did was good, but it wasn't sustainable. And if that's what he has to do to win by 4 points, I don't like it. This is a much better team than squeezing out games.
Taylor ain't fixing that defense.
6 inches away from 0-3. The defense played fine. The defense played fine.
They might be better off being 0-3 because Brandon Staley needs to get out of there. That guy sucks.
Kerry, what the fuck is your cat doing? His hand keeps coming into frame. It's like in the background. It's just like
stretching.
It's the funniest thing ever.
Do you have any thoughts on this nonsense about not the Chargers defense playing?
Well, first off, Austin Eckler hadn't been there for 2 weeks. I think that definitely hurts this offense a little bit. But, I mean, without a doubt, in terms of points allowed, Chargers defense is awful. I mean, Broncos might be there because they just allowed 70. But, I mean, that's one
another
game.
Thing. This offense doesn't run, so they're going to score like all game. The defense is going to be out there. They're either going to be tired or exhausted. This offense does not run the clock at all.
But the defense...
Yes, they did. Or did you watch them week 1 where they ran the ball the whole game and they still got cooked every play?
I mean, they didn't run the ball every play.
They ran the ball
35 times.
They ran the ball like an insane amount that game.
They
had like 200 yards.
And they lost.
No.
And what happened? They got outplayed. The Dolphins look amazing. The Dolphins are the better team. They lost.
But the issue with this team is definitely the defense. I mean, when you're allowing over how many points have they allowed week to week? I mean, it's insane.
If you can get a running game, your defense will improve. If you have a running game, your defense improves. If you can control the clock. That is why the Eagles, no matter how good or bad they look,
24, 27, and 36. So they're averaging over 30 points a game allowed, or pretty.
Eagles have one of the most talented defenses in the NFL. Obviously, they're good regardless of the rushing game.
I'm saying no matter how good they look on offense, they're going to win the game by 20 because they control it.
The same defense. Did you not watch them kill Baker Mayfield last night?
No, I was busy.
Yeah, I guess. God.
Yeah, man, I watched the game. Jalen Carter is elite.
Yeah, I don't know how he's
I think this offense is, like they're going to go out there and air it out. You're either going to live by Justin Herbert or die by Justin Herbert. We just saw them live by Justin Herbert, and they barely clawed it out. They need a running game. They got to control the clock. They got to be 2-dimensional.
This has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. The Browns' defense has been insanely good this year.
Their front seven is not. Their line is nasty.
Yeah.
They lost me money. They lost me like $300 on Sunday.
The Broncos have given up 25 more yards than the Chargers through 3 games, and that is to give up 70.
Last game kind of skews that.
Yeah. The Chargers
Not
have
kind
given
of.
up.
It very much skews that.
That's rough.
Mike White was cooking them too. Mike White's going to be a Jet in a few weeks.
You know what? I don't know if we'll talk about this, but why is McDaniel kneeling and saying, "Oh, we're going to be classy and not kick the field goal with the win"? But then it's 52-13, and they're throwing 70-yard bombs and going for it on 4th down and goal in the end zone.
Bro,
like that is
if
not
he's
classy.
open, he's open, bro. What are you going to do? Not throw it to the open guy?
Don't say you're being classy and then running up before that. Like,
Yeah,
kick the field
that
goal,
was
bro.
kind of ridiculous. Like, if you're gonna run it up, just run it up. Don't say
Exactly.
like, "Oh, we didn't kick a field goal at the end of the game because you're trying to be nice." When you're going
But they
for
slowed
it,
down in the 4th quarter. They had like
It was
60 and, like,
It was 49-13, and it was 4th and goal, and they're going for it. Like,
I don't think he was running it up.
yes, he was.
I don't think so. I think it was electric. That's football. 70
They
points.
should have pulled Tua after the first half. The Chiefs pulled Mahomes in after one drive in the second half.
That's different.
I wouldn't want to get Tua hurt. Like,
They paid Mahomes $500 million.
Tua's also
Let's Tua get a little
your guy.
MVP.
Why risk him getting hurt if he doesn't need to be out there?
Because he didn't get hurt. Look at this shit.
But if he did, and if they imagine what McDaniel would get if he left him out there in a 50-10 game and Tua got another concussion.
Okay, let's stick to reality, brother. That didn't happen.
okay.
God,
So
Ramon.
let's go into point number 2.
Imagine if
Point number 1
Tua
took
got
way too
hurt
long.
on a Sunday afternoon when the cloud passed over the. I'm not going to do it, bro. Stick to the facts.
Point number 2 is about a team that I've been criticized on this show over tonight. And I want to talk about why they failed this past weekend. I want to talk about why the Atlanta Falcons failed.
Cook.
Okay? And it's really, really easy when you take a look at what this team tried to do offensively. This game was never out of reach for Atlanta. I want to first go off and just say that. This game was never out of reach for Atlanta. But for some reason, they threw the ball 38 times. And Bijan Robinson got 10 carries. That's not how this team is built. That's not how it's going to succeed. So that's 38 pass attempts. That doesn't include, when he was sacked, when he had to scramble and run. It doesn't include all that. So we're talking probably 43, 44 dropbacks for Desmond Ridder, and that's just not what this team is built to do. It's built to run the ball, control the clock, give the ball to the playmakers that they have in the backfield, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and then work play action, short passing off of that in order to succeed. Arthur Smith, maybe spend less time in the Pat McAfee show, maybe spend more time giving the ball to the playmaker that you drafted in the first round. There you go. Point number 2.
I was excited for Ridder. I'm not excited for Desmond Ridder anymore.
Kerry, how much did you smoke before the podcast?
Seriously.
I was take a shot of hot sauce. And I was
Listen,
why
man,
not?
I don't know why you people do that, but hot sauce does not go in the fridge.
I think it depends on the hot sauce. Anyway, that's my point number 2. Kerry, what's your point number 2?
Desmond Ridder sucks, man.
Okay.
He did hit his line, so that made me happy. Trevor, do you have anything you want? Zach, I don't know if you'll talk about this.
Mhm.
Your 2 teams going at it Sunday morning. Who you got
9
winning?
a.m.
Huh?
Who you got winning the London game? Jags or Falcons?
Oh, God.
It better be the Jags, dude.
Your 2 babies.
I'm going to hope that the offense looks better next week and say the Jags. But I mean, if we're doing the same shit that we were doing the past honestly 3 weeks, offensively, we're gonna get beat by the Falcons.
I bet the backup offensive linemen are going to have a lot of fun on that trip.
Okay.
Okay. Trevor, do you have any thoughts on Desmond Ridder? You're very quiet on the subject.
I told you I was excited to watch him this year because he's like, he can get out of the pocket. He throws on the run. People like his arm. He's got weapons out there. But it seems like he's just, I don't know. Hopefully it's because it's only week 3. But like he just seems like a little
Timid.
Like a ghost out. Yeah, timid. I don't know what that means, but that's probably what I would say. I knew what that
You're
meant.
being very
He's
weak.
afraid to pull the trigger on some passes.
I want to see him like grow some balls. I don't know how else to say it. Like
An earlier comment from Trevor was that Falcons are terrible. They need to stop letting Ridder throw.
I think I did say that.
And that he looked lost.
He was holding on to the ball for too long. But yeah, I mean, that's not their identity. I mean, I thought he was going to go out there and be like this cool quarterback that was like kind of dual threat, like this nice new thing, the way he ended the season last year. But yeah, like it just seems like maybe because it's been a long off season, he's not ready for that right now. He needs to get back in the groove. But yeah, man, I was sick of watching him just like stand back there, run around, and either get sacked or throw it away. But yeah, they need to run the ball, stick to their guns. They got guys who can run too. Like you don't have to do little gadget plays.
I think it was the second quarter before Bijan Robinson even got a carry or close to it.
I think Darren Sproles, brother.
All right, my point too. I'm gonna keep sweet and simple. I feel like this makes sense, and I feel like all of you should agree with this on me.
No.
The perfect fit for the New York Jets is Kirk Cousins. This is his last year on his deal. I don't know how the cap will work this year, but he can be a free agent next year. Rodgers can be their quarterback. The Viking season is over. This team, obviously, they're going to move on from Cousins next year, draft new quarterback. Why not tank this year, get a better quarterback in the draft? Kirk Cousins gives the Jets a shot in the AFC. It's a perfect fit for both parties, and I think it needs to happen. Will it happen? Probably not, but I would love to see this happen.
Justin Jefferson would be pissed.
Yeah, but he could get Caleb Williams next year.
That man is a Cincinnati Bengal.
Caleb Williams is a Cincinnati Bengal?
No, brother. Justin Jefferson is.
There's no way they can afford that. There's absolutely no way they can afford that.
They're going to pull some Golden State Warrior shit, and it's going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Anybody opposed to Kirk Cousins to the Jets?
I'm not opposed to it. I just don't think it'll ever happen.
Trevor, are you still on the Pookie train?
I'll always be on the Pookie train.
They should get Carson Wentz in there. There, I said
no way.
There, I said it.
I don't know. Why are they signing Trevor Siemian?
That doesn't do anything.
No.
No, bro. Sign me. Trevor Siemian, are you crazy?
Yeah. So.
Trevor, what you got?
My point number 4?
2.
Oh. My point number 2, man, I don't know many of these kind of people, but to be honest, if I was a Broncos fan, and I say this as actually, let me finish. If I was a Broncos fan, I wouldn't even be excited for Sundays anymore. And I say this as someone who goes through the week, Sunday's going to be awesome. No matter what happens to me, I might get shot, I might get stabbed, I might get a girl
Where are you
pregnant,
going on Sundays, bud?
Huh?
Where are you going on Sundays?
I mean, during the week, this stuff might happen, but I know I'm one day closer to Sunday, and I'm always looking forward to Sunday. And man, if I was a Broncos fan and I really cared about the team, I saw these people at the game in Cortland Sutton and Noah Fant jerseys. That's gotta suck. There's nothing to be excited about except Pat Surtain on this team.
Yeah.
What is Russ cooking, dude?
Russ played well this year, and it was not Russ's fault this week.
No, it wasn't.
I mean,
Russ is not
not at all. I mean, 70
he's
points.
But
still, nothing.
Also, why was he out there in the fourth quarter when they were down 50-10?
Bucket. Biggest comeback ever. Unlimited fourth quarter points. Unlimited. unlimited diarrhea, dude.
Well, that's why he's got the 12 toilets in his house.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Shout out to Derek Jonda for holding it down as a Denver Broncos fan. But
yeah, it's tough.
I don't like their uniforms either. Like, I wouldn't even buy a jersey if I was a Broncos fan. I'd probably buy a Nuggets jersey or something. Rockies. Nah, I'd probably buy a Nuggets jersey.
An old school Nuggets jersey, like Mello and.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, before that, the one with like all the colors on it.
Okay.
I'd probably get an Al Harrington one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Broncos have been known for their defense for years, and now they'll be known for their defense for years, but for another reason.
Yeah,
Sadly.
that's tough. That's tough.
Zach?
All right, my point number 3. Gosh, where to even go with this one? My point number 3 is I want to apologize. This is the worst take I had last week, and it is that Kerry corrected me at the time, and I was like, hey, listen, I'm sorry, Kerry, because I moved Dak Prescott way too high up, way too early. The second this Cowboys team faced adversity and this passing offense had to go out there and win the game, they come up short. Which is a very, very poor reflection on Dak Prescott. So
did I send you guys that throw the interception?
Kerry, that was a meme. You sent us a meme, okay? That was a meme.
You didn't even watch the game, bud. You were too passed out on the most.
Was I? Maybe I was. No, the 4:00 game sucks, dude.
They were not great this week.
There was only 3 of them, right?
I saw more of Taylor Swift than actual football on the TV.
Bro, how about them freaking Bears?
We'll get to that. But that's my point number 3. I'm sorry, Kerry. You were right. I moved Dak Prescott up too early. That's my bad. He's been moved back down. My list will be out tomorrow.
He's just never going to lead this team. He's a good game manager, but he's always going to hold his team back. They're playing so conservative with him this season.
How about this? Kirk Cousins to the Cowboys.
I would love that.
The Jets.
I'd rather see Trey Lance get a shot at this point than Cousins.
Why? Cousins is great.
I mean, no, I meant Dak.
You don't mean that.
I do. Lance has a higher ceiling than Dak has.
Is he like bald? Like,
who is it?
Dak?
Yeah.
He might be.
The old man tweeted Cooper Rush should have won this game.
Probably.
No, we gotta let Dak cook. Like he said, there was nothing to work on after week 1 or week 2. He said, now they've been kind of exposed. They know what to work on. So we'll see week 4.
Boy. I think Trayvon Diggs.
You picked them to beat your team, brother.
What?
And pick them?
I picked them and pick them, so that means they're my team.
I said you picked them to beat your team. Don't give me that kind of attitude.
My team sucks. Why would I pick my team?
Sassy as fuck, Kerry.
Trayvon Diggs is going to be a bigger loss than I think people realize.
Trevor.
He's good.
I picked him and pick him, and that means...
Also, this Cardinals team is good. Everybody hated this Cardinals team, but they're actually competitive every game. They could be 3-0 right now if they had Kyler Murray.
They could be 3-0 right now if they weren't tanking, because they tanked that Giants game. They should have won that game.
Josh Dobbs has played well this year.
Yeah,
he's cool, yeah.
The
thing we didn't have to see Clayton fucking Tooney.
Clayton Tooney's good.
Josh Dobbs is cooking, man.
Did you see they don't have at their custom jersey thing? They don't have a Josh Dobbs jersey.
Oh yeah, he tried to buy his own jersey and he couldn't. That's
a tough scene. He's like, I know I haven't been here for long, but damn. Ain't no number 9. Damn.
Who's next? Me? Kerry?
Kerry.
Me.
Point number 3.
All right. I've kind of alluded to this earlier, but I'm calling it. I'm taking the Dolphins in the AFC East. The Jets are cooked. Patriots aren't going anywhere. I don't like this Bills team as much as I used to. Barring an injury to Tua, this Dolphins offense is unstoppable. Barring. It's better than drowning.
Yeah, well, it's close.
But
I want to hear your response to this next week. Actually,
people want to talk all they want about the Dolphins' passing game, but that running game last week was even better. Mostert, and I guess he changed his
Last
name.
2
It's not
weeks.
The defenses are terrified. All 3 weeks.
It's A-Kane, I think, is how he wants to be pronounced.
Or A-Kane?
No. He said, don't pronounce my name A-Chain. It's Akin or something.
Or Kane, probably.
But that is a speedy duo. And this
Akane?
team, honestly, everybody wanted Dalvin Cook going there this offseason. They're better off with these two than Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook was
right now, yeah.
This team's explosive, and unless somebody finds a way to figure them out or Tua gets hurt, doesn't matter how bad this season is.
Stop saying that every freaking 20 minutes.
Tua gets hurt.
All right.
Tua gets hurt. Tua gets hurt. Tua gets hurt.
You see that one guy? He was a Bucs fan. It was on some podcast, and he was like, he hated the tush push so much. He's like, honestly, we just need to try and hurt Jalen Hurts until they stop to get him to stop the tush push. Have somebody dive in his knees late. I was like, whoa. That's what Kerry sounds like sometimes.
That did happen one time. I remember Jason Kelsey talking about it on his podcast. I think it was the one with Jalen Hurts on it. Where they did that play, and then he got rolled up on his leg. And
did I send you the thing? I was like, Jalen Hurts only talks in Instagram captions.
Yeah. I didn't watch it.
Oh, thanks. It's pretty funny, though, if you guys want to watch it at some point. It does. It's like he only speaks in Instagram captions. He's like, I had purpose way before y'all had opinions. And they asked him, like, what went right for you guys this week?
It was like how remember how Cam's Instagram used to be?
Still is, probably.
It is with the weird letters.
There's actually an app and something that you can type a sentence in and it'll give it back to you in Cam Newton language.
That's like the Antonio Brown translator underneath Antonio Brown tweets.
Yeah.
That guy's who is
he has CTE. That was a tweet.
He tweeted that the Steelers OC is Hitler the other day. So
nice.
Okay. All right.
My point number 3 is that, man, the Niners are great, but they are still not on that elite tier, which only holds one team, which is the Philadelphia Eagles. That is just the most dominant team. It was all last year. It's all doing the same all this year. That is the most dominant team in the NFL, and it looks like it's going to be just steamroll after steamroll, just like it was last year. Philly. And their fans are dicks, dude. Oh, my goodness.
I heard they kicked your baby in the parking lot or something.
They punched my son in the throat, 4 of them, because he had a little Bucs hat on.
What? That's awful.
That's horrendous. You should.
The Bucs have a thing. They have a flag that they stretch out over a section that says "Go Bucs" at the end of like the third quarter. These Eagles fans got a hold of it and wouldn't let them stretch it out. And everything else, they were on the news too. They like got one of the news things to like go off air. They're crazy, and there wasn't even that many of them there. But they don't travel thick, but they travel heavy.
What have the Niners done to not show their elite, as they're one of the only 3 undefeated teams left in the league?
They're great. The Eagles are greatness.
How?
I feel like the Niners are beatable.
The Eagles barely beat the Patriots. Who did they play week 1? Or week 2?
Vikings.
They barely won that game, too.
Waxed them. They won by 15 points or something, I think. At least 10.
I don't know why you're such an Eagles dick rider.
It's just, because I'm not. It's just they're dominant. Even when they're offense, they don't have a pass.
The Niners not dominant. Have you watched the Niners play? Obviously not. You don't
the
watch
Niners
a lot.
Are great, and they're probably
you don't watch a lot of football, so that would make sense.
I watch more football than you. Because I watch full games. You watch Red Zone.
You don't watch anything.
That's not true. You know that's not true.
I know that's true. I know
No,
you
that's
didn't
not
watch
true.
any of the games on Sunday besides.
What do we want to talk? I watched all the games on Sunday. What do you want? Which
You
one do you want
didn't
to
watch
talk about?
Sunday Night Football. You didn't watch the 4 p.m. games. You watched one game at 1 p.m. Proud of you.
That is not true. I watched because I was at a bar that had all the games on.
No.
Yes.
Then why do you keep asking me the scores of games?
When? On Sunday? I got bad vision about the numbers are really small on the bottom of the TV.
All right.
I can see everything happening. I just can't see the little ass numbers at the bottom.
Don't listen to this man, please.
Listen to me, bro.
Yeah, the Eagles aren't as good as they're just not as good as the Niners right now.
I think they are. I think even when one part of their team sucks, the rest of their
They're
team
a one-dimensional
is
team.
Huh?
They can't throw.
What they couldn't? What happened last? Could they throw last night?
Jalen Hurts looked awful once again.
Okay, and they dominated the Bucks.
Because of their defense.
Okay, did I
And
say
the
that the
Bucks.
offense?
I saw some article today was like they proved that the Bucks aren't contenders. Everybody thought the Bucks were going to be a bottom 5 team in the NFL heading into this year. It's Baker Mayfield. He shouldn't even have a job right now. He should be sitting
Okay,
on the
let's
bench.
chill.
Baker Mayfield's not a good quarterback.
Baker has played better than half a quarterback.
He's played fine this year.
Yeah.
He's wildly inconsistent.
He's been more consistent than Joe Burrow.
He's not a long-term solution. He's just trying to. I don't know what they think's going to happen. They think the rest of the team could carry. Their defense is good though.
The Bucs might have the worst running game in the NFL. They can't run at all.
Yeah, which sucks because I have money on Rashad White rushing total, but it's like 850 yards. He can get that.
Yeah, probably.
Does he even have 100 now?
I don't know. I think he had 37 last night, but
It's like
DeAndre
He's at
Swift,
100.
man.
He's got
That's
it.
like Zach's Desmond Ritter bet.
My brother DeAndre Swift.
He's
Man,
got to have.
he looks
100.
good.
Hold on.
He looks
How much you
good.
bet on Ritter?
Oh, he's got 150.
Oh, that's not bad.
I think it was 4,000 yards, 3750.
I think Zach said like 3,500 for Ritter.
I think it was 3750. Didn't we bet on it or no?
Yeah. Ritter's at 550 through 3 games.
Okay. And?
I don't think that's going to hit. But I'm also starting to get scared about DeAndre Swift now, so never mind
Why?
on that one. We bet on him, remember?
Bro, he's cooking.
Yeah, he's played great last 2 weeks, but he'll probably get hurt, just like Tua will.
Jeez, dude.
What point are we on now?
I've
Point
read 3.
4.
4?
Yeah.
I got a fun point 4.
Okay. Point number 4. Right now, just so you guys aren't shocked when my QB rankings come out right now, let's get talk a little quarterback stuff. Right now, Joe Burrow is not in the top 10 quarterbacks.
He definitely needed to sit out. He did not need to be playing. Like, it must be getting a little bit better throughout the week.
They needed him. If he didn't play last night, they would have lost. Their season was
Okay,
over.
that's fine. Start the year 0-4. I don't give a shit. They're 1-2, and they're he could be resting.
Their season was toast if he didn't play last night.
Their season was toast if he didn't play last night. If they didn't
0-3?
pick up a week 3 win,
Yeah.
their season was toast if they didn't win in week 3 against the Rams. Why?
0-3? How many teams make playoffs or no 0-3 start?
Okay, but if you're 0-4 and then you can get a healthy, like, top 3 quarterback, top 4 quarterback.
He's not going to win 10 of the last 12
They didn't deserve to win. They didn't play well enough to win last night. That team is way better than the Rams.
Joe Burrow looked awful last night, but he did enough to win. And if they had played Jake Browning or some other random white dude on the bench, they wouldn't have won.
You don't know that. And still, if you're what happens if they go 1-3? Is the season still not lost because they won in week 3?
Not a great start with how good that division is looking right now.
I would rather go 0-4 and get a healthy Joe Burrow in week 5 than try to squeeze out 2 wins in those first 4 weeks and Joe Burrow's not getting rested and he's not healing fully. That's what Jamar Chase said in preseason. He said he wanted him to sit out 5 weeks. But I didn't even think he was going to play. I thought, wasn't that like a... Wait, did you say you were going to bet me like $50,000 if he played?
No, you didn't read my tweet. On Saturday, Trevor tweeted, Joe Burrow is not going to play tomorrow. So I was like, I will bet you $50,000 Joe Burrow will not play tomorrow. And Trevor still never realized what I was saying because you said this on Saturday about Sunday, but Joe Burrow was playing on Monday, which you never got.
I was in a different time zone, so fuck you. I was in Europe.
You went to Europe for the weekend.
Actually, I went to Korea, yeah.
That's in Europe?
No, I went to Europe and Korea, but when I texted you, I was in Korea.
I'm sure that happened.
Man,
My
I'm looking
That
at
was
these
my
bets.
Probably pretty rough.
I'm looking
I also-
really good on my Justin Fields bet. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Who'd you bet that with, Kerry?
It was with everybody. I had to buy a Justin Fields jersey.
Trevor's a Herbert.
That's
I think Herbert's gonna hit. Herbert's gonna hit Trevor unless something happens.
What was his? It was like 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns or something.
You said like 30. He's already at 1,000 yards in 3 games. He's just has
I
hit
don't
one of
remember
them.
what it was. I think it was touchdowns. 35 touchdowns.
It was
35 yards.
everything. So it was.
No, he just has to hit one.
He just has to hit one. So
Which
it
was what?
was Justin Herbert. Complete 66% of passes.
Fuck, that's what I said.
Win
Yeah.
the division.
Well, Mike Williams is hurt. Okay. All
Win
right.
the division or get 35.5 touchdowns or 36 touchdowns.
He's at 6 in 3 games right now, so he's on pace for
34.
around- I mean, it was 67.
That's
But,
not. And Mike Williams just got hurt. Wide receiver 2 just got hurt.
I don't know.
We're good. We're good.
Jets defense are unhappy with Salah, supposedly. All right, I'll build on Zach's 4 because it kind of relates, kind of. But first, Mini B, this is my point, but that's kind of my point. I hyped him up all offseason, and I was let down because he looked like an ass monkey his first 2 weeks.
Dude.
Kenny Pickett,
Okay.
at least week 3, that was the best he's looked. He wasn't that good, but he had 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, and at least I saw he could at least be competent. So good job, Kenny. But my point is the best division in football is not the AFC East, we thought. It is the AFC North. The Browns have arguably the best defense in football. We'll see. Deshaun Watson in his best game probably is a Brown against the Titans, but still. The Ravens are always going to be good. We know the Bengals will bounce back at some point, and that Steeler defense is going to keep them in conversation. Anyone could win this division. All these teams should be over 500, and this is going to be competitive down. I would say the winner of this division is going to be the last week of the season. We'll find out who wins.
Lamar looked good, man.
Did he?
No.
Yes. What?
He didn't.
He looked good. Yes, he did.
I don't think he won.
Kerry, I watched the games. I was at the fucking bar with all the TVs on.
Lamar threw for 200 yards.
How much he rushed for? 107 and 2
100.
touchdowns, brother.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I do. Look.
Lamar's been fine this year, but he hasn't been. I think Zach talked about it last week, but he really hasn't been the guy we thought he'd be.
We know what he is. He's a good quarterback. He's been top 10. He still is.
He's not great.
Okay, how many great quarterbacks have there been this year? 1, 2.
Oh, I don't know.
He also
CJ Stroud.
he had 2 fumbles as well.
Tua and CJ Stroud.
Well,
Well,
I
mine
like
kind of stems off of that, Kerry. My point before, and that's that. This Browns offense has belonged to Nick Chubb for the past 6-7 years, whatever. But now that he's gone, and now that Deshaun Watson is the focal point, just as I predicted, we're about to see vintage and super explosive Deshaun Watson.
Just wait.
It's here. He's
just
about
wait.
to explode. He's here.
Just wait.
Until what?
The Titans have the worst secondary in the NFL.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
The Chargers
Why?
exist.
It's pretty close.
Sean Murphy, Bunting, Kevin Byard. It's not that bad.
Hey,
Not that
remember
good.
when
Even
Kerry was
Cook-
saying golly, the Titans are going to win this division because of their defense. Now they have the worst secondary in the NFL.
They have a great front seven and a horrible secondary.
Simmons is huge. Thick as fuck. Yeah, man, but I think, Deshaun Watson, how he had to, make it all happen. I'm excited to see how Kareem Hunt looks, though. But how he thought all the pressure was on him in Houston, because it was. I mean, if you can just go out there and just say, I got to make plays happen, I think we'll see it. Get ready. Explosive after explosive after explosive. So many counts of explosion. Yeah, that's my point for it.
It's like
also, Zach, speaking of the Titans, Zach,
yeah,
I'm officially. I think it's time for Will Levis in Tennessee.
No. It's time for Malik Willis in Tennessee.
Interesting.
Tannehill. I'm still a Tannehill guy. I like Tannehill, but Tannehill at this point in his career, he needs a good O-line around him to succeed. This Titans O-line sucks, and he's going to suck all season.
That's why you go with the mobile guy.
Tannehill's never going to do well there.
If you replace Ryan Tannehill with Will Levis, you're replacing Ryan Tannehill with young Will Levis. Or you're replacing Ryan Tannehill with young Ryan Tannehill.
This is mobile.
Not nearly as mobile as Malik Willis. Not even close.
There's not a lot of quarterbacks that are as mobile as Malik Willis.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Go with
You also have to throw the ball, too, which is a problem for him.
No, bro. He's fixed all that. He's on
whatever it is
now.
I don't know. Maybe this Titans team sneaks 8 or 9 wins and sneaks the division at best, but this team probably isn't going anywhere.
Wow, you lost a lot of faith real fast in your boys, Kerry.
I did.
And I'm going to say I, for one, am appalled.
But that division is so bad, you never know.
Yeah, it's pretty bad right now.
All right. 0.5, Zach?
I thought it was Trevor's turn.
He just went.
Did he?
My point number 3?
No, 4.
He was supporting the rapist.
Oh,
he's not a rapist.
Oh, that's right. That's yeah. I forgot. My bad.
He just forced himself on people that didn't have consensual relations, but
allegedly.
Allegedly 29. Well, another.
Okay, so my point number 5.
He was never proven guilty.
What?
He was never proven guilty. He just settled.
I hate the person you are.
America, bruh.
Okay. Sorry, that threw me way off.
Gary. I'm speaking the truth.
Shut up.
You're innocent until you're proven guilty. Is that right or wrong?
That comment better put me a little bit safer at number 2.
You're a little bit safer now, Kerry.
I'm just saying, innocent until proven guilty.
Anyway,
if you guys disagree, if you think
Trevor's statements do not necessarily reflect the values here at Beerly.
Like saying Big Ben was an upstanding.
We gotta put a freaking statement out tomorrow, 8 a.m.
Yeah. So my point number 5. Chicago Bears.
Uh-oh.
What are we gonna do with you? I'm gonna go back on a little speech. Not as long as my initial one with it did with the Jaguars, but I'm just gonna make a statement and then I'm gonna explain why I make that statement. There are some teams sometimes that exist in the NFL.
Cook.
That when you look at them, you have to wonder why the NFL doesn't go to a relegation system similar to that of European football. Because the Chicago Bears might be one of the worst teams I've seen in a very long time. And unfortunately, it comes down to one Justin Fields.
You think so?
I do.
Are you guys hyped for the
Justin?
Are you guys hyped for the Broncos Bears game this week?
Give me the Broncos.
I should have put that on Pick'em.
Yeah. We would have gotten a lot of angry messages like, why do I have to pick this stupid game? No one's going to watch.
Well, do we want to take one of the games or we just want to add it on and then...
Take out the... Do you put Packers-Lions? No.
No. We've had two Lions already.
Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Anyway. Justin Fields he said he was going to play more fluid this week. He was going to play more to his strengths this week, and that he was playing too robotic against the Bucs. And then we saw him play this week, and it was just the same thing. Now, I am never someone who's going to put the entire blame on Justin Fields. Obviously, there are coaching issues there because Justin Fields is an extremely talented player. The fact that this coaching scheme can't find a way to scheme him to look better than he has looked this season is frankly kind of the worst thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
You go get him a wide receiver one in DJ Moore. And then you don't scheme any easy throws to DJ Moore for him. That being said, also, Justin Fields seems to have trouble reading defenses. He also looks afraid to throw the ball, which, as a guy who is supposed to be a quarterback, sometimes you just gotta let the thing fly. And at this point, I'd rather him go fuck it and throw it into double coverage than watch him stand there for 30 seconds with zero pass rush, look confused at what he's seeing in front of him, and then eventually run into a defensive tackle. Because it's just hard to watch at this point.
DJ Moore out there somewhere. I actually wanted to talk to you guys about this. It was perfect that it reminded me of it. But I got a fantasy request today. I would be giving up Tony Pollard and Tutu Atwell, and I'd be receiving Breece Hall, DJ Moore, and Alexander Madison. I might have taken this after week 1, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to hit the reject button on that. What do you guys think?
I think that's a good idea. Reject that trade.
I just don't get how Fields keep getting passes. For some reason, the media absolutely loves Justin Fields. And, if you read articles, it'll be like, oh, it's the O-line fault, it's coaching fault. It's never Fields' fault.
But, when the O-line actually does its job and he has 30 seconds to throw, he can't find anybody?
There's certain quarterbacks that just get, passes from the media, and it's weird. But he's definitely one of them.
I have heard a lot of, scouts and, NFL owners and whoever coaches say that he's one of the most talented players in the NFL.
He was in the top 100
for some reason.
He was
I guess talent is one thing, but actually playing the game is another.
He's I think 85.
Now,
top 100.
Trevor Lawrence off to a slow start this year. LaShawn McCoy, I think, said Justin Fields can throw the ball just as good as Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence can't run the ball just as good as Justin Fields. That was at the beginning of the year when they were talking about the top 100 list.
I remember that. Crazy.
Justin Fields, what do you have him? Justin Fields is probably going to be 30 or 30.
I don't have him that low.
He's going to be down there.
Last year it took him a few weeks to heat up, so maybe again.
No, but he has not been this bad since his rookie year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's
the
probably 30 or 31 for me.
He's the best receiver he's ever had. Best O-line he's ever had. It is Caleb Williams' season, or Drake May, or Michael Penix.
Tyler Van Dyke, baby.
Knowing the Bears, it'll be J.J. McCarthy or something.
Knowing the Patriots, they're going to take Tyler Van Dyke in the second round. TBD.
Do you think he'll go that high? So yeah. I feel like there's so many quarterbacks that they're between the first round and the fifth round.
Yeah.
I originally saw Van Dyke in the low first round, but I feel like he won't.
It depends on how the rest of the season goes. He's playing well so far.
That's true. All right, my 5th point. I just don't. Actually, let me bring up a stat before I talk about this.
Okay.
Obviously, quarterback A is better than quarterback B. And this is cherry picking the stats. I'm not pulling up all of them. Obviously, A is better, but I'm just going to bring you up the numbers. Quarterback A, 100 rushing yards, 640 passing, and 3 touchdowns, 3 picks, right?
Yeah.
Quarterback B, 109 rushing, 526 passing, 3 touchdowns, 4 picks. So quarterback B has 10 more rushing yards. Quarterback A has 110 more passing and 1 less interceptions and same amount of passing touchdowns.
Okay.
Quarterback A is Jalen Hurts. Quarterback B is Justin Fields. Jalen Hurts is having an awful year, and he's just carried by his running game and his defense.
No, he's not.
You watched him in person yesterday. He has like 2 good throws a game, and that's all he does. He's looked awful this year.
No, he looks fine. He looked fine.
Jalen Hurts.
This goes back to my Brock Purdy point. Anyone would be successful in the Eagles' offense. Anyone would be successful in San Francisco's offense.
Zach, I think a couple weeks ago you said there's only like 1 or 2 other quarterbacks that you would put that would succeed in the Eagles' offense because they have to run.
No, I don't think it was 1 or 2.
You said that.
I don't think it was 1 or 2.
Justin Fields would do just as well as Jalen Hurts would.
I don't know.
Quote me on that, Trevor. Put me on a quote.
I
Justin
don't agree
Fields
with that.
would do as well as Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson would outplay him immensely.
I agree.
Daniel Jones would probably do around the same. It Hurts maybe a little better, but I do not.
Daniel Jones, dude.
Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's awful. I'm saying he's top 10. I'm just saying people think he's the top quarterback in the NFL. He's elite. He leads his team. I'm saying this is the team. This is not him. Same thing with Purdy.
How can you tell him?
Purdy, I have him in like 11, 12, maybe 9 or 10. Purdy's, I think, a good quarterback, but Purdy's also very affected
by the number of crazy good skill players he's got around him.
I mean, what, are you going to hate on him for having good weapons around him?
No, I'm just saying that, like...
You just did that for Jalen Hurts. You just hated on... Dude. Kerry, who did you vote for?
He wins.
2016.
I didn't vote. Did you not listen? I just said the same thing about Hurts and Purdy. The difference is people say Purdy, oh, he's by a system. Oh, he's top. He's not that good, whatever. And yeah, he's good. He's not great, but he's perfect for that system. Jalen Hurts is perfect for the Eagles system, but he's not elite. People act like he's –
Okay.
That's
so
my
there is
problem.
no reason – Kerry, there is no reason that Brock Purdy shouldn't finish second in MVP this year if it's the same thing.
He should. Brock Purdy's had a much better year than Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Just look at the numbers. Look at everything.
Numbers. I don't do that. I watch football.
Obviously you don't, so...
Kerry. Okay. I literally watched him last night.
Next time I see you, I'm going to videotape you of the amount of football you actually watch and play it back all over this podcast. And
do it on Twitter. We don't have the time on this podcast. We already go too long.
No. The amount of time he actually watches football, that might not even be as long as this episode.
That is insane. I probably watched more football this year than you.
Yeah. What do you think of that? All right, what's your last one, Trevor?
Actually, I knew this was going to come up. Look at this picture.
I'm glad you took a picture.
That's me watching football, buddy. Explain that.
That was a week ago.
Travis Scott don't watch ball? Explain that.
I'd hope you'd
What
watch
teams are
ball.
playing?
Vikings and Eagles. He didn't even show a picture from last week.
I can. I'll show you a picture of Jalen Hurts this week.
Trevor, what's your 5th point?
My 5th point is real gentle. Just to sign off in a nice way.
Okay.
I got nothing bad to say about Red Zone. I understand why so many people are in love with Red Zone. But when 1 p.m. Eastern rolls around this Sunday, what happened to my camera?
I don't know. It stopped working.
When 1 p.m. Eastern rolls around this Sunday, get you a TV. Get around a TV that has Dolphins and Bills. Just do it. Trust me. You're going to want to watch that game. I'm going to have it on. Whether you got to put it on your phone. There's so many illegal streaming websites that are very useful and very good quality nowadays. There's money. It doesn't matter about money. Get it on your laptop. Use Stream East. Use Strikeout. Use Buff Streams. Something. Come on. You got to watch that game.
Okay.
Must-see TV. 2 words. Tua and Allen. Must-see TV.
That's 3 words.
Yeah.
What?
That's 3 words, bud.
Okay. Tua, Allen. Must-see TV.
Wow. Proud of you, bud.
That's 5 words.
Yeah.
What does it matter? How many words do I have to say it in?
You said 2.
You said 2 words, and then you go Tua
I didn't say
and
2
Allen.
words. I didn't say 2 words.
Yes, you
Yes,
did.
you did. 2 words. Tua and Allen.
Okay,
And then
here,
you went,
two
and then
words.
you went 2 words. Tua, Allen, must see TV.
All right, two words. Tua and Allen.
Free, you moron. Just give it up, bro. Just give it up. Just say Tua Allen.
I
Tua
still don't have
Allen.
Trevor's camera back on, but it's fine.
Nobody wants to see his face anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I took all my
All
clothes
right,
off.
ready for rapid fire?
Yeah, let's go rapid fire.
Do you know what? For the first time in like beer league football history, I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna go backwards in time and go to the most recent tweets.
Okay.
Because why not? We live in a society.
Exactly.
Backwards
All right.
in time to the more recent tweets.
True or
Zach,
false?
You gotta dock him for that.
True or false? Mitch Trubisky is better than Justin Fields. As a Bear.
As a Bear, he was.
Bear, yeah.
True?
Yeah.
Who's the best head coach in the AFC North right now? This is Mike Tomlin.
AFC North.
Zach Taylor,
Give me
Stefanski, Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh. Super Bowl.
I like Harbaugh. It's probably Tomlin.
Which wide receiver will have more receiving yards this season? Tyreek or JJ?
Probably
Tyreek Hill, I told you guys. 2,000 yards. You guys laughed at me.
JJ. Is Brock Purdy assistant quarterback?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
He's
and he
elite.
fits
Come
that
on.
system perfectly. You can steal one player from the Ravens. Who are you taking? Lamar.
From the Ravens?
I'm taking Raven.
God, I don't know.
I'm taking the Raven.
I have no idea.
Justin Tucker, bro?
No,
Mark-
he's ass, bro. He should have won the game.
Mark Andrews? Roquan Smith?
Evan McPherson's better.
Tyler Linderbaum?
Maybe Linderbaum, I guess. I don't know.
Linderbaum plays for the Ravens.
Yeah.
The offensive lineman.
The center? Yeah.
I guess
I thought he played for the
Linderbaum.
Falcons. Oh, that's
Exactly.
Lindstrom.
He's get rid of Brandon Sheriff.
Honestly,
All right,
fuck
sure.
that guy.
Should Cam Newton be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
Shout out to
No.
the count that
Absolutely.
shout out to the count
not.
that stole his tweet like 10 minutes after.
Who?
actually, no.
Who stole
yeah.
his
What?
tweet?
Some account with like ton of followers that stole his tweet like 10 minutes later.
Should sue him.
Should. NFL trade rumors, we're coming for you. All right. Who's the worst head coach in the history of your favorite team?
Oh, that's easy. Urban Meyer.
Yeah, it's not.
Raheem
rough.
Morris was bad. Greg Schiano was pretty bad. One of them.
I'd say Pete Carroll.
Huh?
Would you want Shadur Sanders as your favorite NFL team's quarterback next year?
For the Bucks?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Trevor?
Yeah, for the Bucks, yeah.
Trigger this fan base in one sentence. The Cleveland Browns. Your quarterback should be in jail.
Gab Gowdy is mine.
Because of you, the AFC North now has gone 17 years straight with a sexual predator at playing the quarterback position.
It's crazy.
Name a former Notre Dame football player. Liam Eichenberg.
Kyle Hamilton. Shout out to Kyle Hamilton. 3 sacks in
Golden
the first half.
Tate.
I like him, dude.
His highlights are crazy.
Yeah.
I was watching those the other day.
All right, who's your way too early pick to win the Heisman Trophy this year?
The Heisman.
Caleb.
Bo Nix, baby. Should be
Caleb. You know he's Bo Nix, the freaking guy that couldn't hit the brownie side of a barn at this freshman year at Auburn, has the completion percentage record at Oregon. It's like 70.7.
How is he 23? The guy's been around for like
I'm a little
20 years.
surprised that it's not higher than that, an all-time college football record at a big school. I'm surprised somebody never went for like 71 or 72 or something. 73.
Heisman. Give me
Bo
TBD,
Nix at all.
baby. TBD.
It would be cool to see
Call-
Peanuts win it, but I think
Call it now. Name a player that will have a monster game this upcoming weekend.
I'm just gonna say
Do
it
you know
out
who the
of hope.
Colts are playing?
On a hope and a prayer, I'm gonna say Trevor Lawrence.
I'm going to say Justin Fields bounces back against an awful Broncos defense.
I'm gonna say that's bad.
I'm gonna say Anthony Richardson runs over Aaron Donald.
Is he even playing?
I don't know whether he's playing or not.
He's gonna hit him in his car.
Yeah.
True or false? The Dolphins have the best offense in the NFL.
True.
It's either them or the Eagles.
Hell are you talking about?
You can't stop the Eagles' offense.
All right, go ahead, Kerry. Next one. I'm not even gonna address it.
I hate this man. Is Justin Fields a bust? Yes.
Yeah.
Not yet. 5
Start
and
one
23
day.
ain't good though, man.
Start one, bench one, cut one. Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson.
Start one, bench one. What?
Start one, bench one, cut one. Lance, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. I am cutting Zach Wilson, benching Fields, starting Lance, I guess.
I'm starting Fields, benching Lance, cutting Pookie so me and him can hang out.
Right with Kerry.
Is Jimmy G underrated? I know Zach's answer.
No.
Yes.
Why? What makes him underrated? What's his underrated trait? What are people not rating him highly enough about?
Life.
All right. Can't argue with that.
What NFL team is the least success with drafting quarterbacks? You got like the Browns, Washington, Chicago, the
Gotta
Jets.
be the Browns. It's gotta be the
Washington,
Browns.
dude.
It's gotta be the Browns.
Name the last good Bears quarterback, bro.
The Browns have had more shots at it, though. I mean, they just
Washington
had...
got RG3, that's it. And Kirk Cousins, I guess.
Yeah. So I say there's
like the
two good
Browns-
examples from like the last... And from the same draft.
But they only had RG3 for what, like a year?
RG3 was a bust.
Whoa, no, he wasn't. He got hurt. He was not a bust. He was
That's
fired.
still a bust.
No, it's
One
not.
year,
It's not a
that's
bust if you get
Yes,
hurt.
it is.
It's not
Yes,
a bust
it
if you
is.
get hurt. No way.
Yes, it is.
You're not a bust if you get hurt.
Yes, it is. It's a wasted pick.
No, because he was fired
It
before
is.
that. He tore his ACL. He tore up his knee. You're not a bust if you get hurt.
Yes, it is.
You're a bust
Should
if
the-
you suck.
Should the Jets trade for Kirk Cousins? Yes.
I don't
If
think they
possible.
could afford to.
I'll say yeah. Fuck it.
Will the Eagles return to the Super Bowl this season? Nope.
Can you tweet that? Are you a bust if your career ends due to injury and then put a picture of RG3?
Sure, man.
Thanks.
Um,
What was the question?
no, the Eagles won't return
Will the
to the
Eagles
Super Bowl.
return to the Super Bowl?
No.
As of right now, yeah.
Jalen Hurts or Pete Colin Kaepernick? It is easily Kaepernick. Kaepernick would do much better than Hurts does in this Eagles offense.
I'll say it's
We're all
probably Cap.
Cat.
Everyone's just racist. Also, everyone's definitely biased with their age. All right, the last one. Who will be the first head coach to get fired this season? Please let it be Brandon Staley. Please.
I don't know what voodoo magic he's done to keep his job up to this point, but that's why I don't think he's going to be the first one fired.
McDaniel?
Honestly, I could see it being... Eberflus in Chicago.
See it.
I'm gonna co-sign that. I like that.
Because, I mean, the way the Bears fans are talking on Twitter, it's
It's a rough day to be a
pitchforks.
Bears fan.
They're not getting the pitchforks out. They're out. They're
Oh, definitely.
They're already on their way to Soldier Field.
Imagine. Well, did you see what happened to the Bears last week? The DC was looking at some inappropriate stuff. Somebody broke into their stadium and stole a bunch of equipment.
Yeah,
Imagine if they get,
I think the GM and the head coach will be gone before this year's up.
Imagine if they get blown out by the Broncos. How bad?
The Broncos drop 50 on them. Could you imagine? Oh my
That'd be-
god! You
But
think it's
follow-
bad now? I think actually there might be they might burn Soldier Field to the ground if the
That'd be
Broncos
funny.
beat them by 50.
Only Nathan
January
Peterman
6th,
can
that
say them.
shit.
But follow us on Twitter, Billy Football. See all those tweets before we talk about them on the show.
Just
That's
be like,
it.
what would be worse, January 6th or if the Bears? Never mind. Don't tweet that.
Alrighty. Is there anything you guys want to plug before we head out?
Yeah, man. Fuck, I meant to do it at the beginning of that podcast, but in the Beerly fam, Beerly hockey, the hockey season's about to start, the NHL season, and they're putting in a ton of work over there, putting out some blogs, putting out some really entertaining episodes. So they're really excited for the season, which is coming back in I think like 20 days or something. So if you're a hockey fan or if you want to get into the NHL at all, it's just as physical as football, low key. But everybody moves at the same speed. But so yeah, shout out to them. They're Beerly hockey. But I'm Beerly Trev Scott. I'll see you guys next week.
Kerry, you want to plug anything?
On Twitter, Billy Kerry. I will slam Mac Jones and Jalen Hurts all day long. And give you winning props if you want that. I'm 2 for my last 2. Follow our
he
betting
loves
account.
slamming men, guys. If you want to watch him slam men,
I love slamming men on Tuesday night.
You can follow him on X at Billy Kerry. And the Ryder Cup's coming up, probably the biggest event in golf. Team USA versus Team Europe take each other on in Rome this week. Me and my brother Zane talk about it on the Beerly Out of Bounds podcast, golf podcast. But you can check us out there. And then also follow me, Zach Stradamus at BeerlyZach on Twitter if you want to know what happens before it does. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode. If you're watching on YouTube and you're on the go, make sure you tune us in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, anywhere you can find your podcast. And if you're listening to us and you want to see our beautiful faces, check us out on YouTube at Beerly. It's at Beerly Sports. It's Beerly Sports. Put Beerly Sports in the search tab and you'll find us there. All right, we will see you guys next week after another exciting weekend of NFL action.